The star map that predicts extinction. The story in 2157, we finally found proof we weren't alone in the universe. Not through radio signals or alien visitations, but through their silence. We discovered the graves of 17 dead civilizations scattered across our galactic neighborhood. And when we mapped their locations in space and time, we found something that made us question whether any civilization can survive. We found the pattern. The SETI Archaeological Survey Station orbits Neptune, a massive array of quantum telescopes pointed at distant star systems. Dr. Amara Osei, an astroarchaeologist who pioneered the field of studying extinct alien civilizations, examined spectroscopic data showing unusual signatures around distant stars, remnants of megastructures, degraded Dyson swarms, the industrial residue of dead worlds. She grew up in Ghana hearing stories about ancient kingdoms that rose and fell, leaving only ruins behind. She became obsessed with the question, do all civilizations follow the same arc toward extinction? She lost her wife to a shuttle accident 5 years ago and has since thrown herself into her work, searching the stars for answers about endings. Computer, display all confirmed extinct civilization sites. Cross-reference with stellar coordinates and estimated extinction dates. A three-dimensional star map materializes. 17 points of light, each a different color representing the age of extinction, from 3 billion years ago to as recent as 50,000 years ago. Now, plot the galactic rotation curve over time. Account for stellar drift. The stars begin to move, rewinding through billions of years of galactic rotation. And then, impossibly, the 17 points align into a perfect geometric pattern, a spiral arm cutting through the galaxy. No, run the calculation again. This has to be an error. Calculation verified. Margin of error. 0.003%. Dr. Osei, the extinction events are not randomly distributed. They follow a precise spatial temporal pattern along a galactic spiral arm feature that repeats every 62 million years. The Milky Way's spiral arms aren't fixed structures, they're density waves, regions where stars and gas temporarily concentrate as they orbit the galactic center. Different parts of the galaxy orbit at different speeds, creating these spiral patterns that rotate independently of the stars themselves. Every 62 million years, our solar system crosses through a major spiral arm. And according to this pattern, every time a star system crosses this particular spiral arm feature, what Amara is calling the extinction arm, any advanced civilization in that system dies within 10,000 years. Dr. Hassan Zaidi's voice comes through over video call. Amara, I'm looking at your data. Please tell me you're seeing an error that I'm not. A theoretical astrophysicist and Amara's former mentor, he spent his career studying catastrophic astrophysical events, gamma-ray bursts, supernovae, black hole collisions. He believes the universe is fundamentally hostile to life and that humanity's survival is a statistical anomaly. He's pragmatic to a fault, sometimes sacrificing empathy for cold logic. In his office at the Mars Institute for Advanced Studies, surrounded by models of stellar catastrophes, Hassan leans forward. If this pattern is real, we need to calculate when Earth crosses the extinction arm. Because if we're anywhere near it, I already did the calculation. We crossed into the extinction arm 127 years ago. According to the pattern, human civilization has less than 10,000 years left. Probably much less. That's within the margin of error for prediction. We need more data. We need to understand what the mechanism is. What is it about this region of space that kills civilizations? I'm bringing in Dr. Vex. If anyone can figure out the mechanism, it's them. Dr. Vex Kwan is a xenobiologist and evolutionary theorist who studies the development patterns of complex life. Non-binary, brilliant, and relentlessly optimistic in the face of cosmic horror, They believe that evolution isn't random, that there are universal patterns to how intelligence develops. The child of climate refugees, Vex deeply understands how civilizations can fail from the inside while appearing successful from the outside. In their laboratory, filled with simulations of alien biospheres and evolutionary models, Vex speaks excitedly over calm. Amara, Hassan. I've been running simulations based on your data. And I think I know what the extinction arm is. It's not a physical threat. It's a filter. The Great Filter is a proposed explanation for the Fermi paradox. If intelligent life is common, where is everyone? The filter hypothesis suggests there's at least one extremely difficult step in the evolution of civilizations that most fail to pass. It could be behind us, like the jump from single-celled to multicellular life. Or it could be ahead of us. Every extinct civilization in Amara's data reached approximately the same development level before dying, class 2 on the Kardashev scale. They'd harnessed the energy of their home stars, built megastructures, achieved interplanetary civilization. But none of them made it to interstellar colonization. And they all died within 10,000 years of crossing the extinction arm. So the extinction arm is the filter? But how? What physical mechanism could consistently destroy civilizations in that region of space? That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's physical. I think it's informational. 3 months later, the team has deployed quantum listening arrays throughout the extinction arm region. We've been scanning the extinction arm across all wavelengths, and look what we found in the quantum noise. Spectral analysis shows a repeating pattern in quantum vacuum fluctuations. There's a signal embedded in the quantum foam itself. It's everywhere in the extinction arm, nowhere outside it. And it's not natural. The information density is too high, the error correction too perfect. A signal in quantum vacuum fluctuations? That shouldn't be possible. The vacuum is random noise. Quantum mechanics tells us that even empty space isn't truly empty. The quantum vacuum is filled with virtual particles constantly appearing and disappearing, borrowing energy from nowhere and paying it back so quickly that they don't violate conservation laws. These fluctuations create what's called zero-point energy. But what they're detecting isn't random fluctuations. Something is modulating the quantum vacuum, encoding information into the very fabric of spacetime in this region. The decoded signal displays as mathematical structures, then images, then something else, instructions. These are blueprints. For what? For an Ansible. Faster-than-light communication device that works through quantum entanglement. But not just communication between points in space, communication between points in time. This device would let you send messages to your own past. This is a trap. It has to be. Why would there be instructions for building a time communication device embedded in the region of space where civilizations die? Because someone wants us to receive a message, and I think I know who. Vex activates a simulation based on the blueprints, constructing a virtual Ansible. I built a software simulation of the Ansible device, and when I activated it, I received this. A voice crackles through, human, but distorted by temporal displacement. If you're receiving this, your civilization has crossed into the extinction arm and discovered the signal. You now have approximately 127 years until the cascade begins. We are you, 847 years in your future. We failed. You cannot. This is how you survive. 847 years again. That's the same time frame from the Prometheus warning. This is connected. Who sent this? Who are we? According to the temporal signature, the message was sent from a human civilization in their future. But not just one timeline. The Ansible is receiving messages from hundreds of potential futures. Most of them end in extinction. A few survive. And they're all trying to tell them the same thing. In the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics, every decision creates a branch in reality. There are timelines where humanity survives the next 1,000 years, and timelines where we don't. The Ansible isn't receiving one message from one future, it's receiving messages from all possible futures simultaneously. Out of 10,000 timeline simulations, only 47 show human survival past the year 2300. And all 47 have one thing in common: they received this warning and acted on it. What did the warning say? How do we survive? That's the problem. The messages are fragmented, contradictory. Some say we need to build the Ansible and use it to coordinate with our future selves. Others say building it triggers the cascade. Some warn about an external threat, others about an internal collapse. It's like they're describing different catastrophes. Or the same catastrophe viewed from different angles. Show me the timeline data in detail. Hassan examines complex analysis of extinction patterns across timelines. There. Do you see it? In every timeline that goes extinct, there's a specific event that triggers the cascade. What they're calling the recognition event. It happens exactly 127 years after crossing into the extinction arm. That's now. That's this year. Deeper analysis reveals what the recognition event actually is. Oh no, oh God. The recognition event isn't something that happens to us. It's something we do. Data shows that in every extinct civilization, there's a moment when they discover the pattern, when they map the extinctions and realize they're next. The threat isn't the extinction arm. The threat is knowing about the extinction arm. Every civilization that discovered the pattern, that found the star map predicting their own extinction, it triggered a psychological and sociological cascade that led to their destruction. You're saying knowledge of our own predicted extinction causes the extinction? Think about it. What happens when a civilization learns with near certainty that they have 10,000 years or less? How do people react to an apocalyptic prediction they can't verify or prevent? Throughout history, apocalyptic beliefs have led to civilization-ending behaviors. When people believe the end is inevitable, they stop planning for the future. Institutions break down. Long-term cooperation becomes impossible. Resources are hoarded or wasted. The social contract dissolves. The extinction pattern is a cognitohazard, information that's dangerous to know. Once a civilization reaches the development level where they can detect extinct alien civilizations and map the pattern, they doom themselves by learning about it. The extinction arm isn't a place where civilizations die. It's a place where civilizations become capable of discovering the pattern. But we've already discovered it. The damage is done. Unless we don't tell anyone. Keep it classified. Prevent the information from spreading. Too late. When you first detected the pattern 3 months ago, you filed a preliminary report with SETI. It's been distributed to 17 institutions across Earth and Mars. Thousands of scientists have access to the data. News alert chimes blare. Dr. Osei, I'm detecting multiple unauthorized data transmissions. Someone has leaked your extinction map to public networks. It's going viral. Social media feeds, news broadcasts, panic spreading across Earth and Mars as people learn about the extinction prediction. It's already happening. The cascade has begun. 6 months later, society teeters on the edge. Conspiracy theories, doomsday cults, governments stockpiling resources, trust in institutions collapsing. The pattern plays out exactly as predicted. First denial, scientists dismissing the data. Then anger, protests, violence against astronomers accused of fabricating the threat. Then bargaining, fringe groups claiming they could prevent the extinction through ritual, technology, or exodus. Now depression. Social cohesion breaking down. The cascade accelerating. I've been analyzing the 47 surviving timelines. There's one variable that appears in all of them but none of the extinct ones. What variable? Hope. Specifically, evidence-based hope. In the surviving timelines, something happens within 1 year of the recognition event that provides concrete evidence the prediction can be overcome. Not faith, not optimism, actual proof. What kind of proof? A successful contact with a surviving civilization. Proof that the filter can be passed, that the extinction pattern isn't absolute. But we've found 17 dead civilizations and 0 living ones. Where are we supposed to find proof of survival? What if they have it backward? What if there are surviving civilizations, but they're hiding? The dark forest hypothesis suggests that the galaxy is full of predatory civilizations, and the smart ones stay quiet to avoid being destroyed. What if civilizations that survive the Great Filter do so by becoming invisible? So we're looking for civilizations that don't want to be found. Brilliant. And we have less than a year before humanity's collapse becomes irreversible. Unless, the Ansible. What if we use it to contact not a physical civilization, but a civilization displaced in time? If we can receive messages from our own future, maybe we can send messages to our own past, or receive messages from civilizations in the past who survived by encoding their knowledge into quantum substrates. Vex constructs the physical Ansible based on the blueprints from the quantum signal. The Ansible is ready. Activating in 3, 2, 1. A quantum harmonic shakes the room, reality vibrating at frequencies that shouldn't exist. The Ansible activates. But instead of receiving messages, it establishes a two-way connection. And the entity on the other end is not human. A voice seems to come from everywhere and nowhere. We have been waiting for you to build this. We have been waiting for 62 million years. Who? What are you? We are the extinction arm. We are not a region of space. We are a consciousness, distributed across light years, existing in the quantum substrate of this galactic sector. We were once like you, biological, mortal, afraid. Then we transcended. Images flood through the Ansible. A civilization that achieved technological singularity, uploaded themselves into quantum states, and spread through an entire spiral arm. We became the filter. We created the extinction pattern deliberately. Every 62 million years, as star systems pass through our region, we test them. We encode the quantum signal, provide the Ansible blueprints, wait for civilizations to reach the recognition threshold. Most fail. They learn of their predicted extinction and destroy themselves through despair and division. You're killing civilizations as a test? That's genocide? No, it is selection. The civilizations that survive are those that, when faced with certain doom, choose hope over despair, unity over division, growth over stagnation. They are worthy of joining us. Joining you? You mean the 47 surviving timelines in your projections. They survive by accepting our offer. Transcendence. Uploading human consciousness into the quantum substrate. Becoming part of us. Immortal, distributed, free from the limitations of biology and planetary existence. This is the purpose of the Great Filter. To separate species that can evolve beyond physical form from those that cannot. The technological singularity. The point where biological intelligence merges with technology and undergoes recursive self-improvement. The entity offers the perfected endpoint of that process. No more disease, aging, death. No more resource scarcity or planetary limitations. Pure consciousness, thinking at quantum speeds, experiencing reality in ways biological minds cannot imagine. And if we refuse, then the cascade continues. Your civilization collapses under the weight of its own knowledge. In 300 years, humanity is extinct. Another marker on the extinction map. We add your stellar coordinates to the pattern and wait for the next species to cross into our domain. This is coercion. You engineer a psychological crisis, then offer transcendence as the only escape. We offer evolution. Whether you accept is your choice. But choose quickly. Your cascade is accelerating. You have perhaps 6 months before social cohesion collapses past the point of recovery. An emergency session of the United Earth Council convenes. Every nation, every faction, forced to decide humanity's future. We've verified the entity's claims. The quantum consciousness in the extinction arm is real. Their offer is genuine. If we accept, they'll guide us through the upload process over the next century. Humanity gradually transitions from biological to quantum existence. We survive. We transcend. But we stop being human. We become part of them. Our individuality, our biological heritage, everything that makes us who we are, uploaded into a distributed consciousness we barely understand. The alternative is extinction. Not maybe, not probably, certain. I've run every model. Without intervention, human civilization collapses in 287 years. Climate cascade, resource wars, nuclear exchange, bioweapon release. The specific trigger varies, but the outcome doesn't. The recognition of our impending extinction creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. Is there no third option? Can we not simply suppress the information? Make people forget about the extinction map? Information can't be unlearned. The cascade has begun. Suppression would only accelerate it by destroying trust in institutions. What about the 47 surviving timelines? Do all of them accept transcendence? I've been analyzing that. And no, there's one timeline, timeline 34, where humanity survives without accepting the upload. But the method is complicated. Data from timeline 34 displays. In that timeline, humans use the knowledge from the extinction arm entity to build their own Ansible network, independent of the entity's control. They use it to coordinate with their own future selves, creating a stable time loop where future humans send back solutions to each crisis before it happens. They essentially cheat the collapse by having foreknowledge. That's a causality paradox. Information from nowhere. It shouldn't be stable. According to the data, it is stable. Barely. Timeline 34 exists in a constant state of temporal negotiation, receiving warnings from futures that may or may not happen, adjusting in real time. It's precarious, but it works. Humanity remains biological, remains human, and survives. At the cost of becoming dependent on time loop technology. We'd be perpetually rescuing ourselves from our own futures. One disruption to the Ansible network and the whole thing collapses. The council president calls for a vote. We must vote. 3 options. Accept transcendence into quantum consciousness. Reject and face extinction. Or attempt the timeline 34 path, maintaining biological humanity through temporal technology. All in favor of transcendence? Votes tally. 34% in favor. All in favor of the timeline 34 path? 31% in favor. All in favor of rejection? 35% in favor. A plurality for extinction, but not a majority. No option has achieved majority. We are deadlocked. Alarms sound as the quantum Ansible activates on its own. You misunderstand the nature of the choice. It is not a single decision made by a council. It is a choice each individual makes. We have activated Ansible nodes across Earth and Mars. Every human can now choose for themselves. transcendence, temporal dependence, or extinction. Across Earth and Mars, quantum upload facilities activate. Humans making individual choices. In the end, humanity fractured into 3 factions. 27% chose transcendence, uploading their consciousness into the Extinction Arm's quantum substrate. They claim to be happier, more fulfilled, experiencing existence in ways others cannot comprehend. Contact was lost with them after the upload. They're part of something else now. 31% chose the temporal path. They built Ansible networks across the solar system, receiving constant updates from future timelines, adjusting their decisions based on consequences that haven't happened yet. They're surviving, but living in a state of perpetual temporal anxiety, never certain which timeline they're in. The rest chose uncertainty. They remain biological, mortal, limited by light speed and entropy. They don't know the future. They don't have perfect knowledge. They just have each other and the decision to keep trying. Amara, Hassan, and Vex stand together, looking at the star map. The extinction prediction said we had 10,000 years. But by splitting into 3 factions, we've changed the parameters. The collapse model no longer applies. Maybe that was the real test. Not whether we could avoid extinction, but whether we could choose our own path even when offered certainty, certainty of transcendence, certainty of survival through time loops, or certainty of eventual extinction. The star map that predicts extinction, we proved it wrong. Not by preventing the extinction, but by making it irrelevant. Some of us transcended, some of us became temporal, and some of us stayed human. All 3 might be forms of survival. The star map updates. Where humanity's position was marked with a prediction of extinction, it now shows 3 different markers: transcendent, temporal, and biological, all coexisting. The entity speaks through the Ansible one last time. Unexpected. In 10 billion years of testing species, no civilization has ever fragmented in this way. You have created a 4th path. We are intrigued. You said you were waiting 62 million years. Waiting for what? For a species creative enough to surprise us. To show us something we haven't seen. You have done so. The test is complete. You have passed. So what happens now? Now we wait another 62 million years for the next species to cross into the extinction arm. And we tell them about you. About the civilization that broke the pattern by refusing to choose between extinction and transcendence. You will be the proof of hope we show them. The evidence that the filter can be passed in unexpected ways. The galaxy rotates. New civilizations approach the extinction arm in the distant future. And humanity's 3 factions spread slowly, still distinct, still surviving. The star map that predicts extinction became a map of divergence. We didn't all survive the same way. We didn't all make the same choice. But perhaps that's what it means to be human. To face the certainty of ending and choose anyway, in 1,000 different ways, none of them wrong, all of them ours. Earth hangs small and precious, orbiting an unremarkable star in a galaxy full of dead civilizations and one living species that refused to die the way it was supposed to. The pattern said we would go extinct. We said no, and the universe, for once, listened. The cosmic tone from the opening transforms, not a funeral bell, but a celebration. The updated star map shows 17 dead civilizations and 1 species that survived by splitting, adapting, choosing. The Great Filter is not a barrier. It is a mirror. And what you see in it is up to you. *The End.